Hey everybody. Today we're going to start a brand new art lesson and I'm going to show you the slideshow and I'm going to talk to you about it. All right, so our first lesson or our next lesson is called pop art and this is for third through eighth grade. Pop art is a style of art that was really popular from the 1960s to the 1980s. And pop artists would take images, and you can see my mouse, I think, moving around here. They would take images from things that everybody was familiar with. So before that, art was kind of for people who knew a lot about art, right? And they wanted to make art that everybody could identify with. So this artist named Roy Lichtenstein made a lot of art based off of comics, and he especially liked the DC comics. So that's one of his paintings. It's an actual painting hanging up in a museum. And Andy Warhol is another famous pop artist. And this is a painting of a can of soup, which everybody knows about cans of soup. So it's something that everybody's familiar with. So here's another one of Roy Lichtenstein's comics. It's called Drowning Girl, and it's based off of a DC comic. And then here's a print by Andy Warhol, and this is actually from 1981, and everybody knows who Mickey Mouse is. So again, pop artists made art from very popular things. All right, so here's a really cool painting. Well, it's partly painting and it's printmaking. It's a lot of different things. It's called mixed media because it's made from different things. I want you to pause this video and I want you to look at this painting, this artwork by Robert Rauschenberg. There's a whole lot of stuff in here, and I want you to see if you can find it. And then after you figure it out, press play again, and I'll tell you where everything is. Okay, so pause the video. Okay, so here's the set of keys is right here in the middle. The Army helicopter is way down here on the bottom. The president is right here. This is John F. Kennedy. A bald eagle is right up here. An astronaut with a space balloon is right here. And by the way, this was made during the 1960s when we first started really aggressively exploring space. John F. Kennedy was the president, and then he was assassinated in the 60s. So all of the images in here were things that were really important at that time. And the last thing, the Coca-Cola logo is super hard to find. It is right under the bald eagle. It's really small. Right here is the Coca-Cola logo. All right, so again, pop art has things that are popular that regular people are really familiar with. So for this art project, we're going to focus on the work of Roy Lichtenstein. He's the artist who was inspired by the DC comics. And we're especially going to look at his artwork that uses words. And does anybody know the name of a word that is also a sound, like wham? The name for a word like that is called an onomatopoeia. There it is. And I cannot spell this without Googling it. Onomatopoeia is a sound word. And these words are your inspiration for your next project. So these are all by Roy Lichtenstein. And all these funny little teeny tiny dots, he puts that in his artwork because if you ever look at a magazine or a comic strip or just like a newspaper, the colors are made up from lots of little dots. So that's why he includes that in his artwork. There's another one by him. And you can see those dots in the skin of the hand. Varum. Okay, so for your next art project, you'll be making an onomatopoeia inspired by Roy Lichtenstein. You're not making this today. We're going to start the drawing next week. Next time we have art, I'll give you all the instructions. You do have an assignment for today. Your assignment is just to type the word that you think you're going to do. You could even type 2 or 3 words that you like. You can always change your mind for when you actually do the project, but I want you to start thinking about what you want to do. And here's a whole big list of sound words. All righty, so send it to me in Seesaw if you're in 3rd to 4th grade. Send it to me in Google Classroom for 5th to 8th grade. Have fun.